Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the city beneath your feet has moved closer to the sea. Roads that were once perfectly level begin to tilt, buildings slowly lose stability, and entire neighborhoods find themselves fighting against a problem that cannot be seen with the naked eye. This is not a scene from a disaster movie. It is a reality facing some of China's biggest cities, where the ground itself is quietly sinking. But why is this happening? And why could the consequences affect millions of people in the future? Before we uncover what is causing this hidden crisis and what it means for the future of China's urban centers, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more fascinating stories about the world's biggest mysteries, discoveries, and changes happening around us. China is home to some of the largest and most modern cities on Earth. From towering skyscrapers and massive highways to futuristic transportation systems, many of these urban areas look like symbols of unstoppable progress. But underneath this incredible development is a problem that has been growing quietly for decades. Scientists have discovered that many major Chinese cities are experiencing land subsidence, a process where the ground slowly sinks over time. The surprising part is that this is not happening because of a single cause. Instead, it is the result of a combination of rapid urban growth, heavy construction, underground water extraction, and natural conditions. In some places, the changes are so gradual that people barely notice them year after year. But when measured over decades, the movement becomes impossible to ignore. One of the biggest reasons behind this sinking is the removal of groundwater from beneath the surface. Think of the ground below a city like a giant natural sponge. Underground layers of soil and rock can store enormous amounts of water. When cities pump out too much groundwater for homes, factories, and agriculture, those underground layers can compress. Once they collapse, the ground above begins to sink. This problem became especially serious during periods of rapid economic expansion. Over the past several decades, China experienced one of the fastest urban transformations in human history. Millions of people moved into cities, new industries grew, and enormous construction projects changed the landscape. But this incredible growth also placed huge pressure on the land beneath these urban areas. Some of China's coastal cities are particularly vulnerable because they were built on soft sediment and low-lying land. Cities near rivers and coastlines often sit on layers of soil that naturally compress over time. When human activity speeds up that process, the results can become much more dramatic. One example is Shanghai, one of the world's largest financial centers. The city has spent years dealing with land subsidence concerns because much of it sits on soft ground near the Yangtze River Delta. Decades ago, excessive groundwater extraction contributed to sinking in parts of the city. Authorities later introduced measures to reduce the problem, including better water management and stricter controls. But Shanghai is not alone. Other major urban areas, including parts of Beijing, Tianjin, and cities across China's eastern coast, have also faced challenges related to sinking land. Researchers using advanced satellite technology have been able to measure tiny movements in the Earth's surface, revealing that some areas are dropping faster than expected. What makes this issue so concerning is that sinking land does not always create an immediate disaster. Instead, it creates a slow-building risk. A building may not suddenly collapse, a road may not instantly disappear, but over time, sinking can damage infrastructure, increase flooding risks, and create expensive engineering challenges. The danger becomes even greater when combined with rising sea levels. A city that sinks only a few centimeters might not seem like a major concern, but when that happens in a coastal area already threatened by higher ocean levels, the difference can become significant. Lower land means storms, heavy rainfall, and coastal flooding can have a much greater impact. Imagine a city designed to protect itself from a certain level of flooding. Now imagine the land beneath that city slowly lowering year after year. The protective systems that once worked perfectly may no longer provide the same level of safety. This creates a race against time between engineering solutions and natural changes. China has recognized this challenge and has taken steps to reduce the damage. In many areas, authorities have limited groundwater pumping, improved monitoring systems, and invested in underground water management projects. Modern technology, including satellite radar systems, allows scientists to track changes in the Earth's surface with incredible accuracy. However, the problem is complicated because cities cannot simply stop growing. Millions of people depend on these urban centers for jobs, transportation, and economic opportunities. The challenge is finding a balance between development and protecting the land that supports it. There is also a deeper lesson hidden in this story. For centuries, humans have built cities by changing nature. We move rivers, reshape coastlines, dig into mountains, and transform landscapes to fit our needs. But sometimes, the environment responds in ways that are slow and almost invisible until the consequences become impossible to ignore. The sinking of these cities is not just a Chinese problem. Around the world, other major urban areas are facing similar challenges. Cities like Jakarta, parts of the United States, and other coastal regions have also experienced land subsidence. The issue shows how modern cities are connected to the natural systems beneath them. What makes China's situation unique is the scale. The country's cities are enormous, with populations larger than many nations. When changes happen in these places, the impact can affect millions of people. The decisions made today about water use, construction, and urban planning could shape the future of these cities for generations. The most fascinating part is that the ground beneath a city is constantly changing. It may feel permanent and unshakable, but the earth is always moving. Sometimes those changes happen over thousands of years. Other times, human activity can accelerate them within a single lifetime. So the question is not only whether cities will continue to sink. In many places, some level of sinking is already happening. The bigger question is how humanity will respond. Can technology, careful planning, and smarter decisions protect these cities before the problem becomes too large? What do you think about this hidden challenge facing some of the world's biggest cities? Do you believe modern technology can solve the problem, or are we building cities faster than nature can handle? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to share this video with someone who would be surprised to learn that an entire city can slowly sink without anyone noticing. The story of China's sinking cities is a reminder that even the greatest human achievements are still connected to the planet beneath our feet. Skyscrapers can reach the clouds, highways can stretch for hundreds of miles, and cities can become symbols of progress. But everything depends on one simple thing: the ground holding it all together. And when that ground begins to move, the world is forced to pay attention.